welcome back to my channel. Hi, if you're new here, my name is Teresa, and as you can tell by the title, today I'm going to be giving you guys a story time. A story time video of why we moved back from Montana. So here it goes. I'm going to give you guys a little backstory. So the first time, it was 2014 February, that Toby and I filed tax together as a family and couple. We got $6,000 back, and we just, out of the blue, like, we were just spontaneous, and we're just like, let's just move, like, let's move out of state, and so it was either between Montana or Wyoming, and we chose Montana. So we were looking, at places in Montana, and there was this little town called Jordan, Montana, and there was a German motel, and it was like cheap rates for a month too. And so, like, we figured we'd stay there for a month, until we figured, a place to live, jobs and stuff like that. So, we made reservations at the hotel, the hotel. So, yeah. Obviously, the week before that, I took Delilah, because she was like 6 months old. I took her to say goodbye to my Nana and my grandma Sammy. And then, like, I still have those pictures somewhere. I wish I could post them in there, in here, in this video, but I can't find them right now. But, anyway, so, we said goodbyes and stuff, because those, they were the two most important people. So, and Cassie, because I didn't have a car at the time, my sister Cassie had to drive us. So, and because she didn't want to drive back by herself, my friend Miracle, who I was working at Sonic with at the time, she decided that she wanted to drive with my sister, because Cassie didn't want to drive back alone. So it was Cassie, Miracle, Toby, Delilah, and I. So the five of us in her car. We, like, a few days before we left, and it was a Friday too. A few days before we left, my grandma Sammy called and said that there's a bad snowstorm in Minnesota, and it was gonna hit, Wisconsin really bad. But we just, like, we were just like, whatever, the worst that's gonna happen is, we're gonna have to pull over, so, but then things, got worse from there. So we finally get, like, towards, like, we get to, like, maybe, like, a half hour away from Minnesota, like, the state border, and I mean, like, literally, because the state ran out of salt, like, the whole entire state of Wisconsin ran out of salt, and there were semi-trucks and ditches everywhere, and it scared the living crap out of Toby and I, to where we were like, okay, we gotta pull over, and so we found a really nice hotel to stay there for a month, and we had to stay there for a month because Cassie, my sister, she had to, make sure that she got, the next month in March, that she got, like 4 or 5 days off, so she can drive us, finish driving us to Montana. So, we get there, and thank God we did, because who knows what would have happened if we kept going. Like, who knows? We don't know what would have happened. But because, we had Lila with us, and she was 6 months old, we had to be, careful, like, extra careful, and do what was best for her. So we, stayed in a hotel for a whole entire month, and it was beautiful. Like, it was so nice. So once, we get to the hotel, it was like in a town, like a college town. So it was like really cool. We had to make or call, the motel, so let them know that we were not going to be there for another month. And, they were fine with it, like, everything was cool. So, yeah, so we had to call them, right away when we got there. And it was a college town, so, like, literally everything was, like, literally within walking distance. So it was, like, perfect. And then, also, like, the guys at the desk, like, everybody, the hotel was, like, really nice. And it was, like, basically like a king suite. So there was, like, 2 king or queen size beds, a kitchen, a big bathroom. Like, it was really nice. It was, like, basically staying at, like, a, one bedroom apartment, for a full month. But, so, this time, either March 20th or March 21st, Cassie and this time my friend Anna, actually drove, and picked Delilah and Toby and I up. And since the weather was like beautiful, you know, there was no issues with driving, you know, all the way to Montana. It took us like maybe 2 days. Like we left that morning to the day they got us, and then because we were all packed and ready to go, and then we went to straight to Montana. I mean, we took one night and slept for like 6 hours at like one hotel, you know, just to get some rest and stuff because, you know, we all took turns driving, whatever. So, so once we finally get there, you know, it actually finally hit me that, oh yeah, that's backstory by the way. So now that we're in Montana, it actually started hitting me emotionally like that, you know, I'm gonna be like a 24-hour drive away from my family, like, you know, so it hit me really hard. I was like crying really bad, and like I was taking like a bunch of pictures, you know, of my sister, you know, and she was like crying, I was crying. Obviously Toby wasn't, like he was happy, you know. But anyway, so the after that, like, you know, once Anna and my sister left, Toby and I decided to take a little walk slash like hike, you know, just to see, you know, where we're living, you know, just looking at everything. So, it's like a really small town, so the people there were really nosy, and because like we were new, you know, they were like all in your business, you know, that's just how people in small towns are. They're just like really in your business because they're like, you know, like, why are you here? Like, because, you know, they all grew up there, you know, everybody that lived in Drummond, they all, you know, grew up there and lived there their whole entire lives. So it's like, you know, when they see new people, you know, like, like, you know, what's their story, whatever. So, and we would go into a restaurant to eat, and like we would get looks like by everybody, and because we had a different accent, you know, than all of them, because I had like a little, whatever the Montana accent was. But anyway, so we met a family. We actually met a family that was exactly like us. They were like so nice. I mean, the owners of the motel, like they were really nice too until the end. But I'll get there in a second though. But the family that we met, because we wanted to eat at like this little like fast food restaurant, and we got to know their story. Like they were exactly like us, and like that's why we got along with them so well. They're like maybe 10 years older than us at the time, and they had the exact same story as us, so they wanted to help us. So they literally like offered us jobs. So we got jobs the very first day, and they actually owned a apartment complex that was like just done. Like literally they were looking for people to like, you know, rent. So literally like we found apartments, move in the very first day, and we literally found jobs, you know, the very first day. So it was like perfect, like, you know, everything that, because like we moved there without having a job, you know, having a job right away, or, you know, having anything set up. Like we like just, you know, moved there and, you know, just wanted to work our way up, you know, and like just everything that happened, it was just like too good to be true, you know. So we stood there for like, so we lived in Montana, like, I mean, like literally, if you look up my full name, I'm not gonna say it, but if you look up my full name, it says that I resided in Montana. So like, yes, I actually lived in Montana. So like, yeah, like, you know, we got to know some people, whatever, and we got to know our neighbors, and like everything was cool. And then like a week later, that's when things started going downhill. Delilah started breaking out in hives, like all over. So like this is why we had to leave. So literally, like her whole entire body was in hives, and we didn't know why. But I mean, the whole entire motel was like dusty, and the water, like it would make her break out. Like there was something wrong with her water, like just the motel's water. You know, like any you know, the restaurant, any restaurant that we went to, like their water was fine. Like anywhere else, I mean, like the motel itself that we were staying at, like their water, something was wrong with it, because every single time I get Delilah a bath, you know, she'd break out. So then I took her to the, you know, town doctor, and because we just got a puppy named Simba, he was half mastiff, half pit bull. They thought, or he said that she has scabies. Like, really? Like, you don't get scabies from a dog, number one. And number two, like, what kind of doctor are you? And also, the owner of the motel, like, I think, like, you know, her and the doctor, I think like they were close because they're both like, she has scabies, she has scabies. And so like they really like they spread rumors that, our daughter had scabies from the puppy. But it's like no, because she was like starting to break out like a little bit, here and there ever since day one they moved in. But, I thought it was because, of this like maybe the blankets, the fabric, maybe she was allergic to, but so because she was breaking out so bad, I didn't want to like have it spread to her throat. So I called my mom and I was like crying to her and everything and telling her everything that was going on, everything that the doctor said, and also because she didn't have insurance. So he's like, there's something more I can do. I can't help you because she has no insurance, so I'm not getting paid. Blah blah blah. So unfortunately, Delilah and I had to take an emergency flight home the next day, like the very next morning. And thankfully, like, our neighbors actually, like, because the little airport in Missoula, which is like a half hour away from where we were living at, they had like a little airport. So our neighbor, who was like really nice, she actually drove Delilah and I. And unfortunately, we had to leave Toby and their puppy, in Montana for a week, which is really sad. Like, he was crying and, I was crying, but, yeah, like, because, I mean, like, there was, like, some kind of, like, minerals in the water that was just, like, I mean, the water was just, like, bad. Like, it even made me break out, like, in my eczema. Like, I had eczema, like, flares. Like, my eczema was, like, flaring up because of it. So, it was definitely the water. But also, one thing, too, in the motel that we were staying at, underneath, like, the main bed, there was a bag of meth. Like, METH, like, meth. Like, because, and, we found it out because we gave it to our neighbor, and we're like, what, like, do you know what this is? So we found this underneath the bed, and she's like, that's definitely meth, because I guess she knew what meth looked like. I didn't know what it looked like at all. But, so, we took the emergency flight home, and I took her, to the doctor, like her actual doctor, and he tested her, and he said that she has allergies. So that's why she's breaking out, because she had allergies, and it was to multiple things. But the main thing was peanut butter, and that was like the one, one of the things that Toby loves to eat so much is peanut butter, and literally he would have like every day. So with him eating peanut butter, not washing his hands is probably like what started. Plus the minerals in the water when I would give her a bath. And, just the dust in there in the motel, just everything in general. And so, like, once, her doctor here, since he confirmed that she had allergies, everything all made sense. So, I told Toby, and he was like, oh my God, that makes so much sense. So then, after that mystery was solved, I had to figure out how to get Toby and Simba home. Because, I mean, we all would have, flown home, but we just bought a puppy, for Lila to grow up with. So my good friend Kevin, like, I mean, we've been close for like many, many years. Like, I mean, we still talk. Like, we've been friends ever since I was 16. So at the time we were like, really, basically brother and sister. Like, we still are. So he and I, we rented a car for like either 5 or 7 days. My mom and my sister washed Delilah because obviously I'm not going to bring her, on the car ride. So it was me and Kevin, and we switched off. No, I think he drove. Yeah, he drove. But so we drove straight there. Like, we actually took a detour. We went to the what's it called? We went to the Badlands. Like, we visited the Badlands, and we took pictures. Like, it was like it's 6 o'clock in the morning. It was so cool. It was amazing. It was so awesome. And so we finally, get to Montana, and we finally, I see Toby. We run to each other's arms. And because, I mean, he was like crying, and I was crying because we missed each other so much, and he missed Delilah. So then, we packed all the stuff, and then, we're on our way home. And then we took a little detour because, we had a few days left with the car, the rental car. So we stopped in Colorado, Denver, for what? I mean, what is, Colorado known for? Obviously, even the average person can, guess. And so, you know, we just like basically just took a little detour down to Denver, Colorado, and then, you know, explored the area, got some stuff, and then we came back, and then that was it. So that is, you know, the story. Um, I mean, basically, it explains the whole entire, you know, story of why we went to Montana, um, what happened when we were there, when we lived there, because we did, you know, legit actually live there, and then, well, we had to come back. So now you guys all know, like, the whole entire Montana story. So, yeah. Um, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. You know, unfortunately, you know, it didn't, you know, work out. But our, you know, plan for the future in like the next 5 years is to actually go back there, buy land and build our own house. Like, cause I mean, that place, like, that is where we want to reside, you know, when for the rest of our lives. So, you know, in like 5 years, so probably, you know, 2025, we're going to be living in Montana. So, but yeah, because it's like a little taste of Montana, I want to go back. Like, that's where our home is. Like, that's where, you know, we want to be, you know, and grow old together and, you know, raise our girls. Like, that's Montana is, you know, it's just unbelievably gorgeous. I can't, I just love it. Anyway, but I hope you guys, you know, loved, you know, the little story time. Sorry it was so long. I tried to make it as short as I could, and try to, you know, put as much information as I could, you know, in this video. But yeah, but yeah, so on Wednesday, um, I'm gonna be posting a video of me reacting to not Dr. Phil, but Steve Wilkos. Because I know you can't do Dr. Phil anymore. So yeah. So I will see you guys on Wednesday. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'm sorry for the very, very, very boring video yesterday. If you guys didn't like it, I'm sorry about that. But yeah, I hope today was a more interesting one for you guys. So I will see you guys on Wednesday for the reaction video. And enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I love you guys so much, and I appreciate all you guys. Mwah! Have a great rest of your weekend. Bye!